Hi, this is Eugene of Jinjer, and you're listening to Honest Brutality.
Created by the people, created for the people. No holds barred, no punches pulled, just honest brutality. I don't know what the fuck you guys are thinking, but you don't ever talk about my band again. What's this honest brutality shit anyway?
Honest Brutality.
Hey everybody, welcome to Honest Brutality. It's Big Sloppy. I'm joined by Evil Irk and the Camera Rebel, and we have a special guest today, all the way from Ukraine, Kiev, Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. We've got Evgeny from the band Jinjer.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, really happy to talk to the United States of America now. Yeah.
All right, you're officially a member of the show. How's that?
Oh, I am excited.
Good. We're glad to hear that. So we want to talk a little bit about your band here. You guys had a lot going on. The last year has just been phenomenal for you guys, signing on with Napalm, getting your new album out, touring all over the place, and it seems like you guys are just really starting to blow up.
Well, sort of. It's really hard for us to understand that something crazy is going on, because for us, nothing has changed, really. We have been living this way, and we have been doing the same thing for, I think, 5 years.
Right.
And it has been nonstop. And when we got signed with Napalm, and this year, which was, of course, it was like, phenomenal to some way, it was hard to stop and to look at all of the things happening, aside. It was really hard to understand that we are sort of on a different level and something like this. Right. I believe that only now, during this winter holidays, when we finally don't have concerts and we just have parties and chill around, only now I personally understand how much we've done over the last year. So it was really hard to understand, but now finally I see it. Yeah, and yeah, you're right. It's a kind of breakthrough. It was a breakthrough for us, breakthrough year.
Yeah,
that's awesome
for sure.
Yeah, to get this out of the way, we put together a top 10 albums of the year here at Honest Brutality, and you guys, your album came in at number 2 overall of all the albums that came out in the last year. So we thought it was just spectacular. and to take it one more than that, the song I Speak Astronomy, I'm convinced is the best song of the year. Absolutely, bar none. Absolutely phenomenal song.
Thanks, guys. Actually, there is a lot of recognition, particularly with this song. We just a month ago we had annual metal award in Ukraine called Best Metal Act.
Right.
And yes, for the second time in our career, we became like the best Ukrainian metal band. And also, I Speak Astronomy video was voted the best Ukrainian metal video.
Well, I'm going to do you one better than that. It's not just the best in the Ukraine. I'm saying best in the world. How's that?
Go big or go home.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Thanks a lot for that, because it's always cool to hear such motivating words. It inspires a lot. It makes me understand. It makes all of us understand that we are going the right way and we are doing the right things.
That's good.
Absolutely.
And I just appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
Aww.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Would it be safe to say that you are probably the most recognized band out of the Ukraine period?
To some extent, because we have very, very strong black metal scene here.
Right.
And bands like Druid and some more, they are very well known around at least Europe. I don't really know about America, because probably in the United States black metal scene isn't so much appreciated.
Right.
But in Europe, they are popular. They are really popular in Europe. And talking about just general, if I can say so, general metal scene, definitely nowadays Jinjer is the most recognized. But at the same time, I must say that we still have a few more really cool bands, which I really expect to to break into European and American market
Which
and metal thing.
Yeah.
In the just nearest time, very soon. At least I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to help them out and bring them somewhere, because people should listen to this. They're really cool.
That's something that I noticed looking at you and all of your interviews and the things that you said in press, is that you are very much an advocate for the entire scene, not just your band. Every time you do one of these types of things, you are always advocating for another group that's in your area and trying to help them get recognized. And I think that's very admirable.
Yeah, but I think it's just the right thing we all should do. Not only in Ukraine, but in other countries.
Yeah.
We should support the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Exactly.
it's not about one band.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't work this way. There must be, like a number of cool bands in the country to, let me find the word, maybe just like pull the whole scene, the public up to develop in the right way, to develop it in the right way.
Right.
One band can never do this.
Right.
It's
exactly.
about a team. It's about a team, definitely.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bands
Yeah.
out there who actually see it as kind of like a competition, a race to the top.
Yeah, sadly.
But just like you said, I think that if more bands were to take the initiative to hold each other up, then the scene, because we talk to a lot of bands, New York is one of them, where the scene is like not even,
It's dead.
it's totally dead. And it's a classic case of, everybody's trying to go to the top and stomping on each other and just hold each
Yeah.
other up. And
Essentially, they're looking out for themselves and not so much
exactly.
worried about the scene and developing the entire scene and developing the fans that they need in a scene to keep it going.
It's the wrong way. It's the wrong way, and it will never do any good to a band. Actually,
Yeah.
if you just follow this way, it will be bad for you. Finally, I mean, at the end, because you cannot keep the same speed all the time. Definitely, there will be periods when you stop as a band and you have some rest, and probably you work on a new record and you do not tour. And what happens to the scene at this point? If there are no more bands who can support the thing, then it is complete silence.
Exactly.
And people stop going to concerts. People stop listening to music, actually, and it makes all of it only worse. It doesn't work this way, and I'm really sad that nowadays most of the bands, most of musicians just don't understand that it's a teamwork. Definitely a teamwork.
Very
Absolutely.
true. Very
Yeah,
true.
hats off to you for that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I think that's why you see such success in the festival circuits now. It's because everybody's pulling together and trying to draw the crowds as a unit rather than individual tours so much to really keep it alive.
Yeah, exactly. Moreover, we can see that there are more and more bands who join together to make tours.
Yeah,
Yep.
very true. Bigger tours.
Yeah, it happens more and more often.
You kind of have to now, it seems like, to survive.
To get that draw.
Yeah, to get the draw, to get enough people in the doors to make it worthwhile. I think it's really necessary. We're in contact with a band called Brutai. They're over in England, and they just hooked on with Devil You Know, Westville Massacre, Oni. They're doing a big tour with those guys. There's like 5 bands that are all really good bands, but that's what it takes in order to draw the audience that you need to support a tour like that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I believe that this is the right way to not only to survive, to make it all better, make it all better all around the world, not only in America, not only in Europe, but just everywhere. Definitely, we must admit that at the moment, probably it isn't the best the best period for the whole metal genre, and it's a kind of a decay, to be honest. But joining together, working as a team, will definitely help us to go through this period. Definitely.
Absolutely. Now, you guys have a very interesting take on metal. I don't know if anybody could really put you in one pocket. You're kind of a genre-bending band.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of different things that you've had to say about that, but I kind of wanted to get your take on it personally. As far as when you sit down to write these songs, are you looking to head in any one direction, or are you just kind of letting it happen organically as you're doing it?
Well, it's a hard thing to explain how we write songs,
Right.
how we compose, because there is definitely we never stick to one direction. We never, nowadays at least, we never try to keep one genre inside one genre.
Right.
It's not a solution for us at all. The only thing we really keep in mind while composing is that a song must be complete, and it doesn't matter how many genres you include inside.
Okay.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily need to be completely metal song. No.
Right.
It must just complete in its sense. Like it must musically, it must produce a sort of impression. It must impress people musically. And we might have acoustic parts. We might have some really brutal pieces inside of it.
For sure. Yeah.
Generally, it must impress. It should have, as a composition, it should have the right beginning, then the main part, then it should have sort of a, let me say, a top of the song where, I might be mistaken if there is a word in English called, it's a culmination, something like the top point of it.
A crescendo?
Yeah, this is a good word for it. Yes. And then at the very end, there must be a good ending.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah. And this is the only thing we keep in mind. And we definitely don't think about genres. And we will not, ever.
The speed with which you wrote and recorded this last album.
Yeah.
Was that a difficult process for you to adhere to because it was so short? You did that in what, 3 months?
Yes, we did the whole album during those three winter months 1 year ago, and it was. I can't say it was difficult because it was even more than just difficult.
Really?
To be honest with you, it was probably the hardest period for the band. Several times we had really severe arguments inside, and several times we were, about to split.
Oh, really?
It really happened.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. A lot of quarrels.
That would have been very unfortunate for the music world.
Yes.
But fortunately, we managed to go through all of it. We just accumulated all we had inside, all our inspiration, all our creativity, all of us, absolutely everyone inside the band. And we composed those 10 songs, and we definitely believe that King of Everything is a real top of our creativity, of our musicianship at the moment.
Yeah, and that's just a true testament of how strong your band is to go through that and come out prevailing and probably stronger than ever now.
Yeah, that's right. At the moment, we have never been stronger than we are now as a band, as a team, as just 4 people together. And if we started talking about this, I have to say about our new member, about our drummer, Vlad, who joined us only last summer.
Right.
in June. Yeah, he joined us in June, and he also made a huge contribution into this team spirit.
Oh,
Nice.
you mentioned that you guys are now a 4-piece because you were a 5-piece. You lost a guitar player and you decided to stay a 4-piece. Have you guys considered going back to a 5-piece again, or are you going to stay at the 4? Are you're comfortable with the 4-piece?
We are absolutely okay about staying like a 4-piece band. When Dmitry, our ex-guitarist, left, when he left, it was the summer of 2015, so 1 year and a half ago. At first, we were thinking about finding a new member, a new guitarist. But the reason why we actually abandoned that idea is that we realized probably we can find a good musician, but it will be way harder to find a member of a team, a member of a band.
Right.
And it will be even harder to find a person who can take the way of life we have. Because just non-stop touring, constant pressure, 24 hours job. It's 24 hours job. I work all the time. I cannot say when I have a day off and when I don't have a day off. So it's constantly, I do something. I play music. If I don't play music, I work on the web. I promote my band. I am a sort of a manager of Jinjer. Right. I do all this paperwork, and it's crazy. I never stop with this. And it will be very hard to find a person who can do the same, who can keep this pace. It's very, very, it's almost impossible. And that's why we decided to stay like a 4-piece band.
Yeah, you can't get a real day off. You got these guys in California calling you on a Sunday night, for crying out loud.
If only you were closer. Yeah. The problem about getting to America isn't actually the distance. The biggest problem we have, and we realized this not long ago, just 1 month ago, is that visa.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. We've heard that a lot of times.
We were all mouthing it here.
I wanted to touch on the fact that what you were just talking about a minute ago, you were talking about how you basically managed the band. And in all of my research on your band, as I started looking into you some time ago, I realized that it seems to me as though you coming into the band is what made the band successful in this way. I mean, all of the artists are important, don't get me wrong. The talent, the artist, the creativity, without that, it doesn't exist. But I recognized right away that here's a guy who is a driving force. And we go back and watch the videos and read the articles, and you are always right there. You're always right there doing the work and putting it in. And I have to say that I really admire that. You obviously have a love for what you do.
Yeah, I have. Right, you are. Thanks, really. I appreciate for such kind words. But at the same time, I cannot completely agree. If we're talking about promotion and management, nobody will contradict. I am a sort of a driving force in the band, but it's not only about this. It's not only about management. It's I think 40-50% of success. But as you said at the beginning, so everyone is important inside the band.
Right.
Even a guy who doesn't do anything, just play, he might be important just because he creates atmosphere.
Right.
Atmosphere is very, very important thing inside the band.
Yes,
so, and someone may be like, a lazy ass. It's funny, but and he or she might only play or sing, but while he is such a party animal, and he creates a really cool atmosphere around himself.
Right.
And without this, a band just cannot survive. So everyone is important, really.
Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Well, yeah, even without the sound guy or the lighting guy, or when it's all said and done, it takes a crew to run a show, and we know that. I just wanted to make sure that you were recognized for your contribution to your band and to the music world.
Thanks, guys.
Hey,
it's important for me, actually.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something, Evgeny. Something that's come across to me here immediately is your humility and your willingness not to let the light just shine on you, but to make sure that everybody shines. And that's really standing out as we speak. No. Honestly, because we talk to a lot of people in the business, and some are egomaniacs. They want the credit. They want to make sure that they shine. But I'm listening to you, and you're doing some things I've not heard a lot of people do, and that's making sure that you're not the center. You're just a part of, and that everybody shines equally. And that's very admirable, my friend.
Thanks, guys. I'm flushing.
Well, let's get to know you just a little bit better. So,
you're in trouble now, buddy. Here it comes.
on the American side of things, you guys may be known for your videos on YouTube and whatever airtime you do get, but we honestly, as Americans, I speak for our nation, are somewhat undereducated on your region, your area, where you're from, and the type of culture. We really don't necessarily understand it. So what is it like being a young musician growing up in the Ukraine and deciding to become a band member in a metal band?
Whoa, that's a question. Whoa. First of all, I have to admit that it's just tough to be born here. It's really tough.
Right.
My generation, I am 30 years old this year, and my generation grew up in very, very bad conditions and very bad surrounding, because we are. Do you know that I was born in the USSR, actually? Okay. It was Soviet Union.
Right.
It was Soviet Union. And when it collapsed, we had such a huge crisis here in the 90s.
Right.
Some people were starving.
Right.
Some people were starving. And it was complete. All of us, we were very, very pure. Very pure. No money, no job for our parents. And it definitely made a mark. It left a mark on us. And growing up in such, let me say, depression. It was a decade of depression.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it left a mark on us. And for me personally, heavy music, heavy metal, it was a sort of a way out. I was listening to those songs, to those bands back in my childhood and youth, and it made me stronger. It made me stronger. It helped me to run away from all those problems around. And I became a musician very, very late, actually. I was just a fan. I was a big metal fan. And
how old were you?
Yeah. And I didn't play any musical instruments until I was 17.
Oh, wow.
For the first time, I took my bass when I was 17 years old. I started university. I made friends who were musicians, and with them, I started playing music. But before that, I was just gaining experience as a listener, and it helped me. I must say that it helped me a lot, because when I started playing music, I used all that listener experience. Definitely, it's a matter of taste, I think. So I first built my taste, and it helped me then when I was a musician, when I became a musician.
What were you listening to at that point in your life?
Oh, a lot of bands. I used to be. No, I can't say I used to be, because I'm still a big fan of American death metal scene. Bands like Death, bands like Cynic, Atheist, progressive death metal. Yeah, I believe that back in 2000, I was one of few guys in a town who knew about such bands as Cynic, and
Right.
yeah, and I loved it. I loved it really. At the same time, I remember that it was a sort of a, and it was a bit feeling like not the others when I listened to bands which didn't exist anymore at that time. All those bands like Atheist and Cynic, they didn't exist in 2000,
Right.
in the year 2000. And when they actually united again at the end of the 2000s, I was very happy. Yes, and apart from death metal, definitely some thrash metal, again from the United States, bands like Exodus and
one of my favorites.
Testament. Yeah. So I believe, now I realize that most of the music I used to listen was from America, from the United States, not from Europe.
Right.
Not from Europe.
Yeah. That's cool. Was it hard for you to get your hands on the music at that time?
Not exactly, because we are from a country, Ukraine actually, which is, a real pirate bay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
You know what? It's funny you should bring that up, but yeah. So
it was not hard to find music, definitely. None of my discs, was licensed. All of them. Pirate discs, all of them.
In hard times, music was your escape. I want to know, how does it feel to know that your music has helped other people's in the same way?
Honestly, probably this is the main reason why I make music.
Wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. One of the main reasons why I make music is that it helps the others.
Exactly. Music is so strong. It's insane how strong music is.
To my mind, music is a sort of universal cure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And your music comes across very emotionally strong and powerful. And I realize as I'm listening to it that I look at it one way and understand it one way. And then I started doing research on your band and realized that you guys come from an area full of political strife and all kinds of different socioeconomic problems, social problems. And I realized that a lot of what you're talking about, directly related to that, but that's not the first feeling I got.
It's all about interpretation.
I understand what you mean, and you're absolutely right. We try not to talk about things directly.
Right.
We try to hide a little bit the meaning, the real issue we are talking about in our songs, because we just want to make people think.
Sure. Creative ambiguity is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to be honest. When I have to think, it hurts. Just saying that.
He's not kidding.
All good things. All good things hurt.
Yes, they do.
It's the first time.
Getting out on the touring circuit in that region, what is that like? Is that a hard thing to do? Is it really difficult, or is it made a little bit more smooth because you are in the band, or is it still very difficult to travel across borders and what have you?
Borders. Borders are real pain in the ass. Because Ukraine isn't part of European Union.
Right.
And we have to get a visa.
Yeah.
But with the European Union, it's much easier. But when you get to the border, Ukrainian-European border, for example, Ukrainian-Polish, you will see, if you travel by car, you will see a queue of several kilometers long.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because there are a lot of smugglers, there are a lot of traders just who cross the border every day, and they just, they bring some products to Poland, some goods back to Ukraine. So that's the way they live.
Right.
And make money, and you have to stay in this queue for 24 hours, for example.
Oh my God.
I think that Yes, I think that the situation is very, very similar to what you have at Mexican-American border.
No.
I
It's
think
not.
it looks
It's not
the same.
that bad.
No,
it's not that bad.
You're lucky if you sit there for an hour.
yeah.
No, not a day.
No.
No, yeah,
Not lucky you are. Lucky you are.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. That's
every
incredible.
time, incredible. And every time we go on a tour to the European Union, we have one spare day. We always have one spare day before the tour starts
Oh, right.
because we know
As
you
a
might have
buffer.
problems with the
Yeah.
border.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Right.
That makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. You're talking about visas and borders and things. And I know you guys get ready to tour here in March, I think. You have a tour starting. Do you guys have anything on the docket for the U.S. this year? I know you said there's some troublesome visas and whatever, but are you guys targeting any dates for the U.S. coming up this year?
We are working hard on it, really hard. We to tell you a secret, why not? Because of visa problems, we missed a festival in America, in the United States.
Really? Which
Which
festival?
one?
I cannot say.
Oh, you can
man.
say.
Come on. It's
I'll
just
edit-
between us.
I'll edit it. We'll edit it out. We won't publish it.
Okay, it was.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks. Okay, I'll make sure we edit
Yeah,
that out
we're
so we
gonna-
don't want to
we-
get you in trouble. But
We're not going to keep that in there.
yeah, I was
Wow.
I was talking to Evil earlier, and we were saying that we fully expect you guys to be in the open air concerts this year in the U.S. I expect to see you at Aftershock or
Right.
at Rocklahoma's already been announced, but you know
Yeah.
some of the latter festivals at post summer into summer kind of tours. We're hoping to see you guys over here. 'Cause I'd like to sit down with you face to face, buy you a beer, and have a little conversation. What do you think?
I'm absolutely pro this. Really, I really you cannot even understand. Imagine how much I wanted, how much every one of us wanted, because we know that there are fans in the United States, our true fans. And you might not know about this, but our Facebook page was originally created by American fans.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Actually, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. If I'm not mistaken, you can read it on our website in our biography. But originally in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, once I went on Facebook and I found the page of Jinjer, which already by that time had several thousand followers, likes on it.
Wow.
How did that feel?
Yeah, and I was shocked. At first, I thought that someone used our name and our song. I was shocked. And then I sent a message, and the guys from the other side, they just replied that, "Oh, come on, we are your big fans. We couldn't find you on Facebook. We created this page to promote you and stuff like that." And they gave us the page, and we now manage it. This is the page which we have.
That's
on
amazing.
Facebook.
That is
nice.
amazing.
Yes, that's why we really want to get to America and play a tour or some festivals. But as I said at the very beginning, the main obstacle nowadays isn't money, isn't flights, and isn't even concerts, because we have offers. We have offers from the United States, and we can play. There are a lot of them, but the main obstacle is visa.
Yeah, political barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very big problem for us.
That saddens me. You touched on it. The biography on your webpage. Did you write that?
Yeah.
I was reading that as we were doing research, and it reads like a novel. That must have taken you some time, my friend.
All things you read about Jinjer, everything, including just posts on Facebook and our website, everywhere, it is written by me.
Oh, wow. You're a busy
guy.
man.
Yeah.
It was actually one of my favorite bios that I've read on a web page because it felt very personal and it was
Yeah.
very detailed, and I
Very
felt like I
in-depth.
got to know the band.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
Maybe
helped.
I should becoming a novelist right now.
Move over, Stephen King. We got Evgeny
Right?
coming in.
The funny thing about that, I was reading that bio and I couldn't help but feel the amount of adversity that you guys were met with becoming what you are today. A lot of tragedy, a lot of dark times and negativity.
Setbacks,
But here you are shining and doing great things. And as we were discussing, potentially, the American scene. Let me ask you this. What would you like to tell the American listeners and audience? What's the one thing you would like to say to them or like them to know?
Oh, as a message?
In general, whatever you want. This is your show, my friend.
Well, guys, just keep patient. Wait for Jinjer. We will come, definitely. One day we will. And we are doing our best. We are doing our best to make it sooner.
Did he just say the Ukraine is going to invade the U.S.? Is that what he just said?
No, that's
is that what he just said?
To be honest with you, I just don't feel like completely Ukrainian. And by my origin, I'm not Ukrainian at all. I'm. If you know this nationality, I'm Tatar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And I don't feel like completely Ukrainian. I'm a Ukrainian citizen, but not more than this. I feel like international. And it's not about Ukraine invading America or something like that. I'm trying to perceive the whole world and to be a citizen of this world. And
I love it.
As personally
awesome.
for me, my greed is to see the world, to be everywhere, to meet people. Hopefully, and I'm sure one day we'll meet you face to face. Yeah, sit somewhere, have a bottle of beer, chat, have fun, and that's why I live, and that's the true essence of me, I think. That's what I want from my life.
Awesome.
And well, one day, be sure we'll meet somewhere in California.
Oh, yeah. I certainly hope so.
And for the record, it won't be a bottle of beer. It will be several bottles of beer.
99 to be exact.
Probably be a lot. But
I have a good memory. Be careful with that.
Well, I have a lot of booze, so we'll have a good time. You touched on something about being a citizen of the world and wanting to see the whole world. In reading the biography, you mentioned going to Russia and playing a couple shows there and then coming back to the Ukraine. You guys caught a lot of slack from Nazis. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
To be honest, it's a very sad thing to talk about. But if you want, no problem. It really happened the way I wrote about it in our biography. We played in Russia in 2015. And by that time, the tensions, military tensions, political tensions already started between Russia and Ukraine. And our society in Ukraine, sincerely, it is sick. It is sick with patriotic, pseudo-patriotic and nationalistic ideas. And our society really divides people into two parts.
Right.
Either Ukrainians or enemies.
Wow.
And it is very easy to be a part of the enemy team. Very easy. You can say just a couple of words, and you will have a stamp on your face like an enemy of the country.
That is so unfortunate.
And yes, it is very sad. It's tragic, actually. It's really tragic. We just went to play concerts for our fans.
Right.
We didn't play concerts for Putin, for Kremlin, for militaries, or something like that. We just played for our fans, just teenagers or people who listened to us for a couple of years, our true fans, and nothing more.
Yeah.
There was nothing criminal.
Right.
And when we got back, we had this reaction from some, even from our former, by that time, fans in Ukraine. They were really very, very, let me find, and they were angry with the stand. And, well, then the news spread, and as you know, real Nazis, and we have a lot of them here, they tried to cancel several concerts in Kiev, particularly.
Right.
They called to the promoter. They threatened him. Well, fortunately, we managed to sort it out somehow.
Right.
But I don't know if you heard about such things or not. But some concerts, not ours, but some other bands, for example, Onyx from the United States, they came here and their concert in Kiev was canceled.
Oh, yes, I
by-
did see that. Yes.
by a Nazi group.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because you're trying to bring joy and music to people and bring them together, and you're getting caught up in a political maelstrom that's not yours.
Yeah. I'm looking at you guys going to Russia as more of a unifying thing,
right?
Than a dividing
Exactly.
thing,
Yeah.
because music brings us together. It doesn't take us apart, typically speaking, I should say.
That's what we mean. That's
Yeah.
what we mean, and that was the message actually. But
Right.
nobody, but some people just didn't get this
Right.
because they are blind with their anger. They are blind with their even stupidity. They only see this world in black and white
Yeah.
and nothing else.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's crazy.
So here is a band that has been met with all kinds of adversity, including having a band member fall from a window, crashing a van into a ditch, having members leave, getting branded politically in their own nation, getting shut down by a church because they were playing devil music.
Right.
And at the same time, you managed to go into the studio for 3 months and pull out this amazing piece of work and rise above. Congratulations, sir, to you and your band. We admire you.
Absolutely. It's amazing.
Thanks, guys.
It's
Thanks.
so metal.
Hey, can I ask you something on a personal note? You're married, correct?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, do you have children now, or?
Yep. I am married with a 2-year-old son.
Oh, nice.
He's sleeping in the room next to me.
Oh, nice.
Aww.
That's awesome. Well, that leads me to my next question for you, because you guys do a lot of traveling, a lot of touring, and I know you got a tour coming up. It's tough on a family. I know. I've got 4 kids of my own.
It is.
Yeah. And do they ever accompany you guys on the tour, or do you have to leave them behind? How do you guys handle that?
Of course, and unfortunately, I have to leave my family in Kiev, and sometimes I don't see them for a month or even a bit more longer than a month. But it's the price I have to pay.
Right.
It is impossible to take someone from your family with you on the tour.
Yeah.
Because, well, I am not a sadist. I don't want to make my family bad. Yeah, touring life is very hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard. Several times I took my wife with me to a festival, but it's just one trip. It's possible.
Right.
But when you go on a tour, it's impossible. It's completely impossible. I just I just cannot do this. Cannot. Yeah, and I miss them a lot when I travel somewhere, just playing concerts every day. I miss them a lot, but I try to call them, having a Skype chat. Maybe not every day, but at least day by day. And when I have a good Wi-Fi and stuff like that, so I keep contact with my family, and not only with my wife and my son, but with my parents, because you do need some support from the closest people in your life.
Absolutely.
Even if you and your band are best friends, staying together for 1 month in traveling in one van makes you crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
It's obvious, and that's why you need a sort of a way out, some
And
a
escape.
fresh some fresh air, a breath of fresh air from the side. It's essential, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you have a name for your van?
Yeah, we do.
What is it?
Fridge.
Fridge. That's awesome.
That's one of the better ones we've heard.
Why? Explain why. How did that come about?
It's cold as hell. I'm telling you right now.
No. It's white.
Oh,
that's the only reason. You're not packing a lot of beer in there or anything, right?
It is square.
No. It's square and white.
That's awesome. Simplicity is blissful. Absolutely beautiful.
That is awesome.
But there is something behind this. We called it a fridge in summer. We bought it in summer, and we called it a fridge because of its look.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then winter comes, and we realize that it is a real fridge because it's cold as hell.
Now it's the freezer.
It's the fridge in the summer, freezer in the winter.
Yeah, it's really cold inside, and sometimes it takes a couple of hours to make it warm. But there is always a good side of it. At least we don't get old as fast.
Cryogenics.
Keep your youth.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
that's good stuff.
Can you tell me what it's like, the different concerts that you go to that you play in the different regions and countries? Do you see a distinct difference in the audience and their reactions, or does it seem like it's the same at each show?
No, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. It's different. Audience is different everywhere. We come from Eastern Europe, and people here are really crazy at concerts. You probably, I haven't been to America, but talking about the world which I've seen, definitely the craziest audience is here.
Wow.
Not only Ukraine, but Eastern Europe, like Poland, Czech, Slovakia, Ukraine, Hungary, Romania, Russia too, Belarus. People are crazy at concerts.
Can you give us an example of what you mean by crazy?
Absolutely mad mosh pits, slamming, headbanging, walls of death. They just do everywhere on the stage. Really, everything. They just do everything on the stage. They are, sometimes it looks like a real hell.
Yeah. Wow.
At festivals. Yeah, a crowd of small devils just killing each other. I was several times playing music on stage. I was really looking into it, and I was thinking, what the hell are they doing there?
Right. So can you give us like a specific story on a specific thing that you saw where you were thinking like, what WTF? What the hell is going on? Like that one moment where you were just like, holy crap.
Did I really just see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last summer, we performed only one concert in Ukraine, only one open air, and there was several walls of death during our performance. And once I just saw the moment, 1 second before it started, I just saw a small girl standing in the middle.
Oh no.
And I was really afraid of her. She was like, 13 or 14 years old and really tiny, subtle one. And she was ready for it.
Wow.
Like she was ready before it, and she was ready for this two pieces clash just on her. Yeah, and it was exactly that moment. Oh, come on, what the hell are they doing? Yes, and,
Wow.
Hey, Evgeny,
That's intense.
a question for you. I ask this a lot. You're talking about mosh pits and walls of death and all that, and I ask this most everybody. When was the last time you were in a mosh pit?
not long ago,
Yeah?
I think not last year, because I think a couple of years ago, and I used to do it a lot.
Right.
I used to do it a lot back in my hometown. In the recent time, I don't do it much because I'm just a little bit afraid of too much on me, concerts and stuff like that, and I cannot have my hands injured, really.
Yeah, that's your
Yeah.
livelihood. That makes sense.
I
Yeah.
won't play. Yes, and that's why I stopped. But 2-3 years ago, when we were living in our hometown, I did it. I think every concert
Oh,
I played, and I just went to as a listener.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
was constantly in the mosh pit. It was quite okay for me.
I saw in some of your earlier conversations that you were citing some of your influences when you were growing up, and one of the bands that caught me by surprise that you were into was House of Pain.
Yeah, Cypress Hill too.
I was wondering if we could ever expect to see Jinjer do a cover of House of Pain song.
It's possible.
It would be amazing.
that would be an insane cover.
Wouldn't it
Can
be
you
cool?
Imagine these guys doing that? Oh my God.
If a listener could only hear one of your songs out of your catalog ever, what song at this point in your career would that be?
It's easy. It will be I Speak Astronomy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would agree.
No hesitation. No
Yeah.
hesitation.
You know what I like about that song is it goes so many directions, but it all blends.
Makes sense.
You get everything. You got the anger, you got the beautiful, you got everything in that song.
And it's a great
it just-
video.
It's spectacular video. I'm telling you, that's the best song from last year.
That's something.
Thanks.
That's something we didn't really touch on. I'd like to touch on real quick. Is your videos are all very well
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Do you help in the direction of the videos?
We don't really get involved into, band members into making video. Like filming or editing. No, we don't touch it. We get people from a side, filmmakers who do it for us. But sometimes we create ideas.
Right.
For example, I personally invented the story behind Sit, Stay, Roll Over song and Stay, Roll Over video.
Right.
And Tatiana and our ex-guitarist Dmitry, they were working in this sense on Cloud Factory and Bad Water video. So quite often we come up with ideas for the video, but not more than this, just ideas. And I Speak Astronomy. In this case, we didn't do anything for the video. We just came to the studio. They filmed us, and that's all. We didn't know what it would be till we saw the first version. We had no idea what sort of video we would have.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's a lot of your conceptualization. I like that because you see it in the videos when you watch them that there's thought processes behind the song itself. It's not just kind of a lot of images and flashing and lyric video, which is just done to death nowadays.
Of course. I think that's not our way. Definitely, we really like when a song and video, they are connected together, when they just flow together, like when there is balance. As you said, it's not just images flashing around. Definitely not for us.
Right.
It's not the thing we would do.
I would say the video for Cloud Factory is spectacular as well. I really like
dug
that
it,
one.
yeah.
It's great, but to be honest, I cannot watch it anymore.
What? No, I feel bad.
Yeah. It's not because it's bad. It's because I just don't like the way I look.
Hey, I know the feeling, buddy.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. We've got pictures on our websites and stuff that make me sick of myself. I can't look at it anymore.
We'll take some new ones.
Well, we've had Evgeny on. It's been a great time with Jinjer. If you have not ever checked them out, you need to check them out. Their latest album, King of Everything, is badass. It's one of the best albums of last year, bar none. And there were a lot of good ones last year, so that says a lot.
Very innovative band, very new, and do not try to pigeonhole this group because you will fail miserably.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we want to say thanks again to Evgeny, hanging out with us today.
AKA Eugene.
Well, I'm calling him Evgeny. Because I'm getting the dialect right, goddamn.
Well, we're going to do it this way. So, Eugene, thank you so much for being a part of our show today. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the chance to talk to you. It was really pleasant for me.
Well, thank you.
Good.
The feeling is very much mutual.
Yes, it is.
And we cannot wait to promote you here on the United States side and make sure that you get heard. Now, we're going to do it this way because I'm calling you Eugene. You're calling him
Evgeny.
I want you, for the listening American audience, you pronounce your full name correctly.
Okay, my full name is Evgeny Abduhanov.
There you have it.
You're welcome.
That's why I didn't say it.
Hey, once again, Evgeny, thanks a lot for hanging out with us today, bud.
Yeah, thank you. What a pleasure.
Thanks, guys. It was a real pleasure to talk to you. Keep in touch.
This has been another episode of Honest Brutality. We brought you today Jinjer,
Yes.
and it was amazing.
With Evgeny.
Eugene.
Yeah. No, Evgeny. He told me Evgeny.
What an amazingly cool guy.
Yeah. A lot of depth to that guy.
A lot.
I
Well,
noticed.
yeah. We didn't broach a lot of the subjects that other panelists have with them because it weren't necessary.
Right.
And we know how he feels. He's very much a worldly gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel as though that band is poised to do even bigger and greater things.
I think they need an American stage to blow this
and I don't
whole
think,
scene up.
I don't think that's a debate at all.
I think about this a lot because I don't know how many times I've gone to the song I Speak Astronomy, but I cannot, state it enough. It's an incredible song. And I think if that song could get nominated for a Grammy for Best Metal Song, and they could actually perform that on the Grammys, I think it would change the music scene entirely because that would be an audience that would really,
mayhaps
take to that.
I just really hope that they get the recognition they deserve. They are a little bit outside of some people's boxes. So, hopefully people will open their minds and their hearts to this band and embrace what they're doing because I think they are really trying to promote a scene.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was just amazing.
Have you ever heard a more humble person?
No.
Not recently.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that was amazing to me.
Well, another thing that I kind of took out of it is that we all too often forget how lucky we are.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
I'm very lucky to be born where I've been born. And,
yes.
And, even though we deal with our own issues, they're first world problems.
Absolutely.
And
couldn't have said it better.
It's just amazing. That was a great thing to hear.
Yeah. Awesome.
War-torn country, all kinds of strife, and they are continuing to beat the odds.
Exactly.
And that's amazing. So thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed creating it for you. This has been Honest Brutality. If you don't already know, you can check us out at honestbrutality.com where you can find everything you need to find on us for the most part. Yeah. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on all of those different sites. We post all kinds of crazy stuff, interact.
There's mud. You're not going to find dirt on us. You're going to find mud on us.
We also have a radio show every Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on Rock Rage Radio, the Honest Brutality Hour. Join us there where we play some of the bands that we talk about and bands that you've never heard that you should.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
We also have a lot of fun over there, a lot of chaos. You can support our show if you would like to. There is a Patreon page. There is also a one-time donation. Not rattling the cup here, just trying to keep the lights on. And you can also call us, leave us a message, and sometimes that makes its way into the radio show and or the podcast. And
Yeah,
where can
you know
do
what?
that?
As a matter of fact, as you're listening to this right now, pick up your phone and call 530-962-0411 and give us your feedback on what you thought about this interview.
Absolutely.
Well, fuck that. It's not an interview. It's a conversation.
Conversation.
We had a great conversation with Evgeny. We'd like to hear your feedback on that. 530-962-0411.
In the meantime, be good people, take care of yourselves, and
Stay metal!
Stay metal.
here's some Jinjer.
I think that it's not only about staying metal. It's about staying a listener. Stay a listener. Keep listening to music of all genres, not only metal, but of course, never abandon metal.
honest brutality.